Welcome to the Eternal Bright Light channel. Standard deviation, an extremely important statistical tool, has multiple practical uses, even outside the field of statistics. One such practical use is in the financial matters and investment decisions. Today, we are going to show you how to calculate standard deviation from a given sample of data in a very short and simple way. Then, we will show you how it can be a useful tool in the field of finance and investments. So, let's get started. Suppose you are an investor and you want to invest in shares or stocks of 5 different companies. But you aren't sure of how much profit you will make from this investment. So, you decide to obtain the historical data of profits generated by these stocks over the last 3 years and calculate its standard deviation. So, how do you do it? Let us explain. As you can see, 5 different stocks, A, B, C, D and E has generated 9, 14, 21, 27 and 19% profits respectively, in the last 3 years. First step is to find the average of the profits of the 5 stocks, which comes out to be 18%. This is the graphical representation of the returns from these 5 stocks in the last 3 years. Then second step, you subtract this average return from all the individual returns of the 5 stocks. This process has been illustrated in the third column. For example, in case of stock A, 18 is subtracted from 9, which gives -9 as the answer. In case of stock C, 18 is subtracted from 21, which gives 3 as the answer. Similarly, you have to do this for all the 5 cases. Step 3. You have to find the square of this difference for all the 5 cases. This process has been illustrated in column 4. So, in case of stock A, it is square of -9, which is 81. In case of stock B, it is square of -4, which is 16. Similarly, you have to do this for the remaining cases. Step 4. You have to find the total of all these square values. So, in this case, the total of all the 5 values of 81, 16, 9, 81 and 1 gives 188 as the answer. Suppose we denote this total value of 188 as Z, and the total number of observations for the 5 different stocks as N. Step 5. You have to calculate the variance. To do this, you just have to divide Z by N-1. As you can see, this gives the value of the variance as 47. Step 6. Finally, you have to find the square root of the variance. In this case, it is square root of 47, which is approximately 6.86. Therefore, the standard deviation of these 5 sets of observation is 6.86. Now that we know how to calculate standard deviation, we also have to know its significance. So, what exactly is standard deviation and variance? As we have already mentioned at the beginning, both standard deviation and variance are statistical tools, which has multiple practical applications. Today, we saw how it can be used in financial matters. It makes the investment decisions a lot easier. Basically, whenever you have a sample of data, you can find its standard deviation and variance. In this case, we had only 5 samples of data. But in reality, the sample can be very large. For example, If you want to define consumer behavior of a particular region, you have to consider the entire population of that region as the sample set. This will make the sample set extremely large, up to millions and even billions. So, these statistical tools are of prime importance. Basically, you can say that the standard deviation is a statistical tool, which shows how far the data is straying or dispersing from the expected mean or average value. Now, let's get back to our original question. You as an investor was unsure of the expected returns from these 5 stocks. So, now that you know the standard deviation, you can easily calculate the expected return from your investment. Hence, expected return is average return, plus minus the standard deviation, which in this case is 11.14 and 24.86 respectively. Therefore, you can expect a return within a range between 11.14% to 24.86%. That is, in worst case you can expect an 11.14% return, and in best case, you can expect a return of 24.86% return. So, now as investor, you are in a much better position to evaluate than you originally were, thanks to statistics and standard deviation. So, that's all for today. Hope you liked this video and found it useful. Share this video with your friends and family. More interesting contents are coming, so please subscribe to our channel. See you again in the next video. Until then, goodbye and take care.